Can you smell it in the air, kiddies? Can you feel it in your bones? It's June, which means we're getting video game announcements. We've obviously gotten a lot of cool stuff already. We got stuff from Sony with a banger of a presentation. We got Pokemon Scarlet Violet trailers, but really a lot of people are looking forward to the June Nintendo Direct. Now, obviously it hasn't been confirmed that we're getting a June Nintendo Direct, but more than likely we are. Nintendo obviously has to talk about the second half of 2022. We don't really know much about it, if anything at all, and Nintendo always seems to do a June Nintendo Direct. And with this, of course, we have the quote-unquote leaks that pop up online, and obviously I'm not saying these leaks are true. We're going to be talking about some leaks today from 4chan. Everyone hates 4chan. I understand why, but you do have to remember 4chan actually had the entire Nintendo Switch presentation, the first one where they talked about games like Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challengers. It had that whole presentation on there. Actually, everything was 100% accurate. So, you know, it's worth mentioning, it's worth talking about. Obviously, I don't necessarily think this is all true, but I do think there may be some truth mixed into it. So if this is your first time on the channel, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share, turn on the bell notification as well. Without any further ado, let's talk about this Nintendo Direct leak and what I think about it. Alright, so this was posted a couple days ago on 4chan. If, I don't know, an ad pops up that has a bad word in it or something like that, I apologize in advance, but it is 4chan, so what do you expect? And this is coming to us from a anonymous user, and they're basically talking about the Nintendo Direct. Now, they say 6/8/2022 is the date of this Nintendo Direct. Now, that would be in 4 days. Honestly, I do think that the Direct is going to happen next week. Some people seem to think that it's going to happen in like the middle of the month, like around the 14th. I don't know about that. I think if we get a Nintendo Direct, I do think it's going to happen next week. So, you know, maybe this person knows what they're talking about. Updates to previously announced games. The Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass Wave 2 will come in the month of June. Mario Strikers character update announcement. Mario Party Superstars board update in October. Nintendo Switch Sports update penalty mode in the month of June. Now, all of these things sound very plausible. Obviously, Mario Strikers is going to get new characters eventually, but it's kind of weird that this would happen before the release date of Mario Strikers, and they would already be talking about the new characters coming into it. I feel like they would want to release the game and then maybe talk about stuff like that. Obviously, there's going to be more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe courses. We already know that. We already know that Nintendo Switch Sports is going to get an update with more events and things like that, so nothing really outside of the realm of possibility here. Mario Party Superstars getting a board update, I once again think that's pretty plausible. That's a game that really lends itself to have additional DLC and additional boards added to it. So, you know, so far, so decent. You know, I think all of these things are very plausible things. All of these things sort of make sense. Maybe not the Mario Strikers character update thing, but everything else, you know, it makes kind of sense. But he did say Mario Strikers. Little red flag there. Other trailers for popular games. Splatoon 3 trailer. This is all new. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 story trailer. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hope story trailer. Bayonetta 3 The New Evil trailer scheduled for October 28th of 2022. Once again, all these things make sense to me. These are all games that we know are coming. Some of these games are actually coming during this month, in the month of June, such as games like Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is coming very soon. So none of this really surprises me. I think giving a name, Bayonetta 3 The New Evil trailer, I really hope that we're not trying to say that that's the sub name of that game, because that's absolutely stupid. October 28th, 2022, right before Halloween season. You know, all of this makes sense. All this is very logical. All this is very plausible. But now things are gonna kind of get off the rails a little bit. News from the Zelda series. The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, planned for November 11th, 2022. Trailer for the sequel to Breath of the Wild, planned for 2023. The trailer is dubbed and has an estimated length of 3 minutes as of May 29th, 2022. New amiibo for Breath of the Wild 2 and Oracle of Ages/Seasons will be released at the same time as the games. Now, Breath of the Wild 2, I do think you're going to get a trailer for it. Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, those are just kind of like really deep cuts. in the Zelda library. They're almost too deep of cuts. You know, everything that we've gotten so far from Zelda has been the more popular games. I honestly feel like you have a better chance of like Link to the Past getting a remake, more so than Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. I would like it, don't get me wrong, because there's a ton of people who have never experienced those games, and they're very, very good games, but I just don't see this being the Zelda games. If anything, it makes more sense for Twilight Princess and Wind Waker to be the Zelda games because they already exist. You already have them. They're already done in HD. There's no reason to do anything else with these games but make it so that they can play, you know, in portable mode. Like, there's not a lot of optimizing needed to be done to those games, whereas Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, you really have to build those games from the ground up, you know, and I don't know. That's just a little bit beyond for me. I think that's a big red flag with this, but let's continue on here. News from the Super Mario series, a brand new trailer to the Super Mario movie. Once again, some excellent English there. Starring Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Peach, Yoshi, Rosalina, and company. The theatrical film is still planned for April of 2023. Different releases are planned per region. These have already been announced. A new new game starring Donkey Kong and King K. Rool. Donkey Kong: The King Returns, planned for spring of 2023. Now, you know, Mario movie stuff, sure, whatever. The new Donkey Kong game, once again, that's something that's been heavily rumored, and that's something that honestly makes a lot of sense. Like, Donkey Kong has obviously been stagnant since the Wii U era. I know it came out on the Switch as well, but that's like saying that Donkey Kong Country for the SNES is a Switch game, because really it's not. It's an SNES game. So it's been 7 years since we've gotten a new Donkey Kong game. Sure, it makes sense for there to be a new Donkey Kong game. Will it be 2D? Will it be 3D? There's been rumors about 3D stuff. You know, whatever. Nothing is really crazy outside of this. Nothing is really crazy. Here's where things get a little bit crazy though. 3 for Switch will be released on September 23rd and will include more mini games for 1 to 4 players. Metroid Prime HD will be released on October 7th. Now, unfortunately, I have to say that I have heard rumors that there is a 1-2 Switch sequel coming out this year, and I have heard rumors that Metroid Prime HD is also a remastered version of Metroid Prime coming to the Switch this year as well. So these two things, yeah, they're not really all that crazy. They're not really all that out there. Do I think the game will be called 3 for Switch? No, I've actually heard a rumor of the name of the game, and it's actually more stupid than that. It's actually way worse than that. But you know, these aren't necessarily all that crazy to think about, because I do think that there is going to be a sequel to 1-2 Switch, even though, I mean, that game only sold because there was literally nothing out for the Switch to play beyond that, and like Zelda on day one. Yeah, there was a couple other things. And then the whole Metroid Prime thing, you know, Metroid Prime Remastered has been heavily rumored. Of course, you had the whole trilogy thing, which was supposed to happen. It never happened, and then I just stopped talking about it. But there has been lots of stuff with Metroid Prime Remaster, the first game coming to the Switch in this year. So, you know, it's not entirely crazy. It's not entirely crazy. Is it a little bit crazy? Yes, but there's logic behind the craziness. There's logic behind the reasoning here. And then finally, we have the latest announcement, which is Metroid Prime 4 getting a trailer planned for 2023. No, I don't think so. Like, I don't think so. And really looking over this list of stuff, there's a lot of questions I have. First off, if this is a Nintendo Direct, where's all the third-party stuff? You know, there's no third-party stuff. There's no talks about things like Virtual Console or, I mean, Nintendo Switch Online stuff. There's a lot of things missing here. Now, this could just be an outline for the main games coming to us from Nintendo, or this could just be a bunch of bullshit. And it probably is a bunch of bullshit at the end of the day. But still, you know, it's fun to look over these things, and it's fun to theorize about these things, because I do think a lot of these things could potentially happen. You know, the stuff like the 1-2 Switch new game and the Metroid Prime 4 or Metroid Prime HD, the remaster, remake, whatever you want to call it. I do think those are going to happen at this event. I do think that it is logical for there to be a new Donkey Kong game. I do think it's logical that they'll show trailers of already announced games and updates to games that we already know exist, such as things like the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you know, booster packs for more courses. But there's not quite enough surprises in here for me. There's not quite enough sort of off the wall stuff from Nintendo, and I think there's going to be more than just this, because a lot of this stuff is very safe. A lot of the stuff are just very safe guesses based on things that we have heard. And the Zelda thing is probably the biggest, well, I mean, Mario Stricker's character update, that's kind of weird. But I think the biggest red flag for me is the Zelda stuff, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. I just don't see that happening. I think it's Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. They're already HD games. Just put them out there. Just put them out there to make Zelda fans happy. But what do you think about this list? Do you think there's any logic behind this list? Do you think that there's anything that we could sink our teeth into as far as an actual rumor? Or do you think it's all just a bunch of bullshit? You know, it could really go either way with this, honestly. We've had so many fake leakers come around. I know, the dude from Good Vibes Gaming, John, he was like a fake leaker, and, you know, everyone just bought it hook, line, and sinker. People still listen to Samus Hunter. Oh God, did I say that out loud? But anyways, let me know what you think of this in the comments section down below. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Tell me what your dream Nintendo Direct presentation is in the comments section down below. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.